Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and in case you're having too happy of a New Year's Eve, we've got some spoilers today. Oh, these will bring it right back down to earth anyway. We've got Ephemia, the Cacophony. So in other words, Screechy Bird Lady. It's a 2/1 for 2 rare, legendary enchantment creature, Harpy subtype. And it's flying, of course, and at the beginning of your end step, you may exile an enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So, I mean, for 2 mana, when you could keep getting 2/2 zombies occasionally during the game, that's pretty good. But I think in the actual zombie subtype deck, this would do pretty well. But if I recall, the other zombie enabler is also not a zombie, because it's Erebos. So, yeah, and you start adding in Liliana, are you really running a zombie deck anymore? Now, that said, some of the effects look pretty strong, so I don't know, we'll see. So next up, we've got Communion con le Stelle, which of course means call your Aunt Stella. She hasn't heard from you in forever. So this is an aura enchantment, costs 4, it's blue, and you can enchant creature or enchant another enchantment. Enchanted permanent is an enchantment and loses all other card types. And then the reminder text says it still has abilities. So like, what is the point of that? But it does say, but it is no longer a creature. So if you're thinking, what the actual hell is the point of this? It's meant to take down a god, obviously. If you were to put this on just some enchantment, it would turn it into an enchantment and then leave it with all of its abilities. So it would do nothing. But remember, god cards are not creatures until they get enough devotion. So this is just an awkwardly worded, weird, like almost misleading, confusing card that clearly is here to just serve exactly one purpose. Oh, except by take down a god card, I mean, it does absolutely nothing because the god, it can't be a creature. So what? Who cares? You don't have to deal with it being indestructible, whatever. It still gets its triggered and activated abilities. So for 4 mana, this is beyond garbage. And then for like a pin down effect in blue for 4, where you just take like, it's a 12/12 creature, just not a god, just any other creature. Oh, I slapped this on it. Now it's not a creature and it does nothing. Well, you're upping their enchantment count and, you're only giving yourself single devotion, so that's 25% devotion on the card. That's pathetic. And there are pin down effects that cost 2 and 3, so this is just not a good card. Next up, we've got Inspirar Temor, which is, my favorite language ever, Portuguese, and it's Inspire Fear. So it's a 4-cost instant, and prevent all combat damage. Oh, good, it's a fog. Like, we need that bullshit AIDS in standard. Anyway, prevent all combat damage this turn that would be dealt this turn. Wow, who translated this? Except combat damage that would be dealt by enchantment creatures and enchanted creatures. And then Scry 2, which is good because this card is actually flaming garbage. Yeah, stop combat, unless they're running a deck from, this set, then you're screwed. So yeah, an overpriced, unreliable, like partial fog, okay, fine. I mean, I don't see what the point of the card was, but I don't think they should ever print another fog card ever again, because all people do with them is cast them out of their graveyard, bring them back to hand over and over and over and over and over and fog you every turn. AKA Turbo Fog. There is no more aggravating deck type than Prison and Turbo Fog, which I consider to basically be the same thing. If you play that, you deserve to take a bar stool to the face when it happens, and it will. So, yeah, let's move on from this absolute waste of time. We've got Nadir Kraken. It's a 2/3 for 3 with double devotion, thankfully. Finally, I'd say reasonable sized Kraken. Does that seem to match the artwork? Does that look like a 2/3 to you? Does it look like it should take 3 mana to summon that? Really? I'm not buying it. Anyway, whenever you draw a card, you may pay 1. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on Nadir Kraken. Oh, I see. That's it when it's bigger, I guess. And create a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token. Oh, I get it, because you can cut off the tentacles and it'll still live. Ha ha ha. Well, I mean, even though it's a blue tentacle creature token, it doesn't have devotion, but yeah, I'd probably throw this in as like a mid-filler, like a stall card for devotion, because, why not? Reprint Master Waves, damn it, we're all waiting. Next up, what in the actual hell is going on in this card? Escape Velocity. I'm pretty sure this is a reference to some myth, but I can't figure it out. Although I do love that the dude's just like absolute booking it, and then the flavor text is not even death can catch me now. Boy, people on Theros are really coming up with some creative ways to get out of the underworld. I mean, this is one of the better ones I've seen. So anyway, this is a 1-cost aura, and you enchant a creature with it. Enchanted creature gets +1 attack, +0 toughness, and has haste, because duh. And then it has escape. I mean, the aura escapes from the underworld. How does an aura die? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's a spell, and it just fizzles into mana and dissipates. It's Magic the Gathering. It doesn't have to be consistent or make sense. So this Aura enchantment escapes from the underworld for 2 mana and exile 2 other cards from your graveyard. So this doesn't strike me as amazing, but it's kind of similar to Smooth Sprint, and I play that, so whatever. Next up, Devourer of Memory. Oh, good. This sounds like a treat. It's a 2/1 for 2 Nightmare, and whenever 1 or more cards are put into your graveyard from your library. Oh, cool. Okay. Devourer of Memory gets +1/+1 till end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. And then if you pay 3, you can put the top card of your library into your graveyard. So I'm sure this will do something specific. It's pretty slow, but it costs 2, and self-mill resurrection decks tend to, run a lot of high-cost stuff, so I could see somebody playing this. It's just still not very good. And next up, we've got asshole number 1, Hallie Odd Son crowned himself. So this douchebag is a 5/5 indestructible for 3, which is already beyond bullshit. If your devotion is less than 5, he isn't a creature, otherwise he is. And whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control. Oh my god, he's distributed a Johnny's Pridemate. I mean, he's like the villain of the story, obviously, because he turned on, what's-her-face, and yeah. But, like, I didn't know they'd go this crazy with it. They're taking a deck that's already unbeatable and making it just berserk. Oh, and also, if you pay 2, another target creature gains lifelink until end of turn. I think that's actually similar to the last Hallie Odd. I don't remember exactly what he did, but whatever. Yeah, one of the tier 1 decks is going to be either one or both of the following. Mono-white Ajani's Pridemate Devotion Life Gain, or black-white Acrobat Ajani's Pridemate Super Life Triggers, with maybe Devotion, but not really because it's 2 color. And then that dog. I'm going to build both right off the bat because, surprise, I have both built already, basically, just without the Theros cards. So yeah, this card by itself is crazy. I mean, it's insane. They can't get rid of this. At least it says another creature gains lifelink. If he could target himself, that would be insane. But yeah, imagine they board wipe you twice and you're out of, flying lifelinkers and your Johnny's dead and you got no other options. You could single-handedly win the game with this, or at least bare minimum hold off your opponent. I mean, good luck getting 5 devotion, but you could drop out anything that gains life and turn it into a Johnny's Pridemate with lifelink. So you could come back real quick. So at least this doesn't draw cards. That would be broken, but it's pretty borderline broken. So next up, we got Idyllic Tudor, aka Would You Like One of My Pringles? To which Giant Hand Person says, oh yes. And yeah, you just search your library for an enchantment card, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. So in other words, you go get Hallie Odd, and if you already have Hallie Odd, you go get Daxos. Those are pretty much the only things somebody's going to use this card for. So next up, Atrus, I don't know, Oracle of Half-Truths. Well, that's good. It'd be pretty ironic if they were the Oracle of Pronunciation. So this is a 4-cost 3/2 legendary creature human advisor with menace, and when Atrus, or whatever, Oracle of Half-Truths enters the battlefield, target opponent looks at the top 3 cards of your library and separates them into a face-down pile and a face-up pile. Put 1 pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Okay, so that's one of the more interesting, what the hell do they call it? I call it a Sphinx ability, but I think the actual name is like Fact or Fiction or whatever. Hey, I haven't been playing since that card was legal, just saying. But yeah, one of the more interesting 2-pile abilities, because, they could put a kind of good card up and then hide the rest down. I mean, it's only 3 cards, though, so it's like, how interesting could you really get? I would just take a look at the one that's up, and if it's good enough, it'll win you the game, grab it. It doesn't really matter what the rest is. So I think they're going to take the most medium high-powered card and make that the up one, and then the other 2 are always going to be down. But I could see somebody kind of trying to like double reverse psychology bluff somebody or whatever. And they could put, 2 pretty good cards up and then 1 card face down. You'd think, oh, okay, if those are the ones they put up, clearly the one face down is like insane. And then you pick it and it's a freaking land. So because of that, I would not play this card. I mean, paying 4 for a 3 menace creature isn't like the end of the world, but nothing about this is good or reliable or good. Fine, I know somebody's going to say it. It would be pretty good in sealed or in draft. Next up, we've got a card that isn't Master of Waves. Come on, just print the damn card. It's the only merfolk in the history of the game that I've actually liked. And that's because he tells red and their stupid bullshit spells to take the spells and shove them right up their ass. Seriously, the flavor text on Master of Waves is take your red spell and shove it up your ass. I don't know if you ever read it. But what this imposter does is he's a 2/1 for 2, and whenever Towering Wave Mystic deals damage, target player puts that many cards from the top of their library into their graveyard. If they make Blue's devotion ability be Mill, I am gonna fucking lose it. Nobody likes Mill. They need to stop doing Mill. But that said, it does say target players. So maybe the intention is the whole I'm gonna stuff my own graveyard, because that seems like more of a thing. So I'll let him off the hook for now, but one more Mill card. Just one more blue Mill card. I'm gonna lose it. Next up, we've got a zombie merfolk, a Miter Triton, a 2/1 for 2. Hey, wait a minute. Do we have a cycle here? Are we going to get 5 colors of merfolk? I want to see Merfolk of Flames. Anyway, it does have Death Touch, and when it enters the battlefield, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard, and you gain 2 life. I mean, that is just good, and it's the zombie subtype. So this pretty much fits into everything we've seen so far. It's a zombie subtype, it's self-mill, and it could technically fit into a black-white life trigger deck, kind of. I mean, it wouldn't be my first choice, but if I was going up against like an all-green just creature rampage, yeah, I'd throw a 2/1 Death Toucher in there, absolutely. And, that's it for today. So some very interesting cards, kind of makes me wonder what Thassa is going to look like. I believe she's the only missing god, and I got 4 copies of her right off the bat and played her in like 3 different decks last time around. So, yeah, really looking forward to that. And boy, do we have a lot of questions. I mean, I think we've seen a little bit over 100 cards so far. So there's not many left, but are we going to see the god weapons? Are we going to see, Spear of Hallie Odd, Bow of Nylea, Perforos's Hammer? We damn well better not see Whip of Erebos. And I wouldn't mind seeing Bident of Thassa again. AKA, this is going out to the OGs from my channel, Thassa's Barbecue Fork. Oh yeah. I'm actually really proud of the fact that I just named all of them. Will we see Nykthos trying to Nyx? Or did they just think that was a little much and now we've got the Lotus? Because honestly, having both of them, that would be a little much. So I'm starting to have doubts. We'll find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Spoiler Z. Hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching. Oh, P.S. I'll be live streaming later today.